Considering J.D. Vance's family and child advocacy, do Republicans in the Senate find themselves at odds with the national ticket? Here to help us answer this and sort this out is OAN DC Bureau Chief John Hines to give us the latest. John, what is going on here?
Hey, Chanel. Good to talk to you.
John, what's happening here? Why are the Republicans seeming to hold a contrary position than what J.D. Vance is holding on bills like the Online Protection Act?
Sure. Well, this is an interesting act because, of course, it was a vote of 91-3 in the U.S. Senate, so there was a lot of Republican support for the legislation. Mr. Vance, J.D. Vance, of course, member of Congress from Ohio, he's been very skeptical, I think, of bipartisanship when it concerns big tech. And he's been very skeptical of big tech. I think that he is of the opinion, I think he's doubtful that big tech is actually going to be able to manage this. This says that there essentially is a standard of care and that people can take a cause of action against technology firms by the Federal Trade Commission and cite them for areas where they're negligent in protecting kids from addictive algorithms, things like that, which potentially could expose them to deleterious influences on the internet. So I think that he is skeptical of big tech. That is a feeling I think that a number of conservatives in the Senate have and have voiced in the past and continue to do so.
And so it's not. That makes sense. It's not skepticism over the idea of it. It's a skepticism over the execution of these protections. Is that am I understanding
exactly?
That clearly?
I think there is increasing skepticism of big tech, feeling that they are driven primarily by a need to attract viewers and eyeballs, and to get younger ones at a younger age. You know, I mean, I don't want to make this analogy, but you go back to tobacco, cigarettes years and years and years ago. And the strategy was to get smokers, customers, when they're young. And you have a product which is somewhat addictive, and here you have this product which is online, and it's somewhat addictive. We see young people with their phones all the time. They tend not to engage with individuals. They prefer to be on their phones. And certainly it's addictive. So that, of course, produces monetary revenue to these companies. They become very wealthy. And I think there's a criticism of them for being overly reliant on getting young eyeballs to use and be attached to their product. And they've been very successful at that. And I think a lot of people feel like they've been too successful, and they do not trust big tech at all, do not trust big tech to administer this so-called standard of care, standard of basically trying to keep them away from being addicted to some of these algorithms.
On another front, real quick, the Secret Service hearing that was held in the Senate, it felt like we didn't get a lot of new information, but there was certainly a lot of intensity, both from the left and the right, directed at Secret Service. What were some of your takeaways after listening in to that hearing?
Well, this was a remarkable hearing in the Senate. U.S. Senate was both the Oversight Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, and then also Judiciary. It was remarkable because, once again, you have a bipartisan focus. And I think that there was a feeling on both sides that they weren't getting the information that they wanted. It's been about 20 days now since July 13th, since that assassination attempt. And I think there's a feeling on both sides of the aisle that there should be more transparency and more information forthcoming. And of course, you have some snafus, some lapses in the security administered by the Secret Service, which senators just failed to understand, and I think rightly so. You had that meeting on July 13th that the Secret Service supposedly didn't attend. You have that question of the perimeter. Who decided on that? Secret Service said that it was the locals. You also had that issue of a local law enforcement sniper taking a picture of the shooter, circulating it about an hour before he actually shot at the former president. You have the issue of their drones, Secret Service drones. They couldn't get a cell signal, and yet the shooter had a drone up there at about 4 o'clock the day of that event.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.